Okay, here's a fact to start us off. Did you know the average person produces something like uh, 11,030 kilograms of waste in their lifetime?
Wow.
Yeah, that's apparently like more than 6 SUVs worth. It's kind of surprising, maybe a bit unsettling.
Definitely surprising.
But it kicks off our deep dive today into something we, well, usually ignore, but it's incredibly informative: your daily bowel movements.
Right. Not exactly top dinner conversation.
Uh-huh. No. But, our stool actually acts like a fecal barometer. It gives these really crucial, non-invasive insights into your diet, hydration, lifestyle, even potential health conditions.
It's amazing what it can tell us.
So our mission today for this deep dive is really to give you the tools, the knowledge to decode this daily report. We want to help you move from just, seeing it to actually confidently self-monitoring your health.
Exactly. And for this, we've gathered quite a stack of authoritative health resources. We're looking at detailed articles like stool color and what it means, the fecal barometer, the secrets your poop reveals, even insights from a TED-Ed video transcript.
So, solid sources.
Yeah, really solid.
Yeah.
By pulling these together, we can give you a pretty comprehensive understanding. And look, this isn't about, gross out facts.
Right.
It's about empowering you with the critical thinking skills to understand a really fundamental part of your health. Think of it like getting a powerful daily diagnostic clue straight from your own body.
Okay, so before we jump into what it all means, maybe we should back up a bit. What actually is poop? I mean, biologically speaking, what is it made of?
Yeah, good question. Great place to start.
Yeah.
So essentially, poop is the solid or semi-solid stuff left over after your body digests food. It's what your body couldn't use or didn't need.
Okay.
So it's a mix of undigested food bits, dead cells that have slowed off your gut lining, metabolic waste. And it's all been processed by this incredible community of bacteria in your large intestine.
And the actual composition, like percentages.
Well, a healthy stool is typically about 75% water.
75%. Wow.
Yeah. The solid part, that's
Yeah.
mostly organic stuff, plant matter, some fats, proteins, those dead gut cells we mentioned. And this is interesting. A really big chunk, somewhere between 25 and 54%, is actually bacterial biomass.
So actual bacteria.
Literally trillions of microbes from your gut. It's like a whole ecosystem in there.
That really is complete. Okay, so food starts in the mouth, goes down the esophagus, hits the stomach acid, enzymes, then into the small intestine, more enzymes, bile from the liver. It's quite a journey, and that journey is key to why it's usually brown.
Got it, exactly. The brown color, that's all down to bile. Your liver makes it to help digest fats.
Right.
And bile contains this pigment, bilirubin. It's yellow-green, and it comes from breaking down old red blood cells.
Okay.
So as this bilirubin travels down into your large intestine, the microbes living there get to work on it. They break it down into a compound called stercobilin.
Mr. Coben.
Got it. And that is what gives stool its classic brown color. While that's happening, your large intestine is also busy absorbing excess water, which turns the liquid waste into, well, the semi-solid stuff you eventually pass.
That's fascinating biochemistry. So if stercobilin is the key, does that mean anything that disrupts that process, like, say, an infection making things move too fast, could change the color?
Absolutely. You're right on track. That's precisely why stool color is such a useful indicator.
It is amazing when you think about all the colorful things we eat: berries, greens.
Right. And yet it usually comes out brown. So what happens when it doesn't? Let's break down the colors.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, first up,
Brown.
any shade from light to dark, that's generally your healthy baseline, normal. It's because of that bile bilirubin stercobilin process we just talked about.
Standard operating procedure.
Exactly. Now, green, often this is just your diet. You ate a lot of spinach, maybe something with green food dye. Simple. However, if it's persistent and you can't link it to food, it might mean things are moving through your intestines too quickly. Think diarrhea, maybe an infection, or even IBS.
So the bile doesn't have time to break down fully.
Precisely. It doesn't get converted to the brown stercobilin. So the key for self-monitoring here, check your diet first. If it keeps happening and you have other symptoms like pain or fever, then it's time to see a doctor.
Got it. What about yellow or orange?
Again, often diet carrots, sweet potatoes, maybe high-fat foods.
Sure.
But if it's persistently greasy, foul-smelling, and yellow, that could suggest excess fat in the stool, meaning fat malabsorption. Probably, like your body isn't digesting or absorbing fats properly.
Yeah.
This could point towards things like celiac disease or problems with your pancreas, maybe cystic fibrosis.
Okay, so that's a more serious flag.
It can be. If it's persistent, greasy, smelly, especially if you're also losing weight without trying, definitely consult a doctor. That combination is a pretty strong diagnostic clue.
Right. Makes sense. Now, red. That one sounds alarming.
It can be, but again, let's start benign. Beets are notorious for this.
Oh, yeah, beets.
Or red gelatin, tomato juice, even cranberries. They have pigments like betannins that can cause it.
Okay, so food first.
Always check food first. But bright red blood, what doctors call hematochezia, that indicates bleeding lower down in your GI tract. Colon, rectum.
Could be things like hemorrhoids.
Could be hemorrhoids, anal fissures, yeah.
Yeah.
But it could also be more serious things like inflammatory bowel disease or, much less commonly, colorectal cancer. Dark red or black tarry stool points to digested blood higher up.
So red is definitely a pay attention signal.
Absolutely. The real insight with color is knowing your personal baseline brown and noticing any persistent, unexplained shifts. Most temporary changes are just food, but being aware helps spot potential issues early. Think of it like your body's traffic light.
And when should you act on red?
Seek immediate medical attention if the bleeding seems significant, if it keeps happening, or if there's no obvious food reason for it.
Okay, what about black or tarry?
Right. Again, there are harmless causes. Iron supplements are a big one.
Ah, yeah.
Pepto-Bismol, too. The bismuth in it reacts with sulfur in your gut. Black licorice, blueberries. They can do it.
But the tarry part sounds bad.
It is. Black, sticky, tar-like stools called melena. That's a critical sign. It usually means bleeding higher up in the GI tract. Stomach, small intestine, maybe ulcers. Stomach acid turns the blood dark and tarry.
So also a see the doctor situation.
Promptly, yes.
Yeah.
Especially if it is tarry, smells foul, and you have other symptoms like pain or vomiting. Don't wait on that one.
Okay, and the last one. Pale, white, or clay-colored.
Benign causes could be recent barium from an X-ray, or certain meds like antacids, but otherwise. This color is a really precise indicator of a problem with your biliary system. That's your liver, gallbladder, pancreas.
Meaning no bile.
Exactly. It's just bile isn't reaching your intestine properly. Could be a blockage like gallstones, liver disease like hepatitis or cirrhosis, or sometimes a tumor.
So that's another urgent one.
Definitely. Seek medical help immediately if it's persistent for more than a few days, or especially if you also notice jaundice, that yellowing of your skin or eyes.
Wow. Okay, it really is incredible how much just the color can tell you. But as you said, the story doesn't stop there.
Yep.
Like a weather report isn't just temperature. Our internal report also gives us consistency, right? Through something called the Bristol stool chart.
That's right, the Bristol stool chart. It sounds technical, but it's actually a really simple visual tool. Doctors have used it for decades.
What's its main job?
It classifies stool into 7 types based on how it looks and its consistency. And that look directly tells you about intestinal transit time, basically, how fast things are moving through your gut. It's a quick snapshot of your digestive function.
Okay, walk us through the types.
Sure. So types 1 and 2, these are like separate hard lumps like nuts or kind of sausage-shaped but very lumpy.
Sounds like constipation.
Exactly. Indicates constipation. Often means you're dehydrated, maybe low on fiber, or things are just moving too slowly so your body absorbs too much water. Makes them hard to pass.
Yeah.
Types 3 and 4, these are the ideal ones. Type 3 is like a sausage shape but with some cracks on the surface. Type 4 is smooth and soft, like a sausage or a snake.
A sweet spot.
That's it. They signal good hydration, good fiber, healthy transit time. Easy to pass. This is what you're generally aiming for.
Makes sense. And the other end?
Types 5, 6, and 7. These are looser stools, moving towards diarrhea. Type 5 is soft blobs with clear-cut edges. Type 6 is more mushy, fluffy pieces with ragged edges. And Type 7 is entirely liquid, watery.
So things moving too fast.
Yep. Rapid transit time. Less water gets absorbed. Can be caused by excess fluid, infections, food intolerances, maybe IBS.
That's incredibly clear. But for someone listening, how do we actually use this chart day to day? What's the practical takeaway?
Great question. The critical thing isn't just memorizing the types. It's about recognizing your usual pattern. If you consistently find yourself at the extremes, always type 1 or 2, or always type 6 or 7, your body's sending a clear signal. Maybe you need more water, maybe more fiber, maybe look at what foods might be irritating you.
And types 3 or 4 mean?
That's your body saying all systems go. Things are working well. So using the chart helps you get a quick read on your digestive motility, spot patterns, and figure out if simple changes in diet or lifestyle might be needed.
Right, so it's about tracking your personal norm. Okay, beyond what we can see, color and shape, there are other clues too, right?
Absolutely. We need to dig into the finer details. frequency, smell, maybe finding unexpected things in there.
Yeah.
It all completes the picture.
Okay, let's start with frequency. How often should you go?
Well, this is where normal gets really broad. It varies a lot between people.
Right.
Generally speaking, anywhere from 3 times a day to 3 times a week is considered within the healthy range.
So there's no single right number.
Not really. What's truly important is what's normal for you. If someone typically goes every other day and feels perfectly fine, that's their normal. Don't get hung up on needing to go every single day.
But what defines constipation then?
Officially, it's usually fewer than 3 bowel movements per week.
Okay.
Interestingly, some research does suggest that going maybe 1 to 3 times a day might be linked to better health outcomes, things like a healthier gut microbiome, maybe lower risk of certain chronic diseases. But again, individual variation is huge.
So the key is change.
Yes. Sudden persistent changes from your normal pattern, whether it becomes chronic diarrhea or chronic constipation, that's the signal something might be up. And lots of things affect frequency. Diet, especially fiber.
Hydration, presumably.
Big time. Fluid intake, your activity level, any medications you're taking, they all play a role.
Okay. What about smell? It always smells right.
Ah, yes. All stool has some odor. That's just bacterial fermentation producing volatile compounds. Normal.
But when should the smell worry you?
If it's unusually foul, like really rotten, that could suggest bacterial overgrowth or maybe an infection.
Okay.
Remember we talked about yellow, greasy stools. If they're also persistently foul-smelling and oily, that's a strong sign. Fat isn't being absorbed properly. Again, pointing towards possible celiac disease or pancreatic issues. That specific combination, smell, grease, color, is a powerful clue.
Right. And what about unusual contents, like seeing things in there?
Yeah, let's cover those. First, mucus. Seeing a tiny bit of clear, jelly-like mucus isn't usually a problem. It helps lubricate.
Okay.
But if you're seeing a lot of visible mucus, especially if you also have pain or diarrhea, that might indicate irritation or inflammation. Think IBS or maybe inflammatory bowel disease. Worth mentioning to your doctor.
What about undigested food? Corn, seeds?
Seeing small bits occasionally, especially high-fiber things like corn kernels or seeds,
Yeah.
is usually harmless. Your body doesn't fully break those down. But if you're consistently seeing larger undigested food pieces, and maybe you also have other symptoms like weight loss or chronic diarrhea, that could mean things are moving too fast, or maybe there's a digestive disorder affecting absorption.
Okay. And blood. We touched on this with color.
Yes, but it's worth repeating.
Yeah.
Any blood needs attention. Bright red, maybe just on the paper coating the stool, often from near the exit hemorrhoids, fissures, dark red or that black terry appearance, that's digested blood from higher up stomach, small intestine. Bottom line, any blood, get it checked out. Don't ignore it.
Okay. What about really thin stool, like pencil thin?
If it happens occasionally, probably just muscle contractions in the colon, normal variation. But if your stool is consistently very thin or ribbon-like, that could indicate some kind of blockage or narrowing in the colon, maybe even a tumor. Again, persistence is key.
And finally, floating versus sinking. Does that mean anything?
Often, floating is just due to extra gas trapped in the stool, maybe from a high-fiber diet. Pretty common.
So not usually a worry.
Not usually. But if it's floating consistently and it looks greasy, that brings us back to possible fat malabsorption. On the other hand, stool that's always hard, dark, and sinks quickly might just mean it has low water content because it spent a long time in your intestine.
Okay, connecting all these dots, it's clear digestion isn't happening in a vacuum, is it?
Not at all.
It reflects so much what we eat, drink, how we live, even stress. So thinking about diet, hydration, lifestyle, if someone's noticing minor issues, what are the top, say, 2 or 3 most effective changes they could try?
That's a great way to frame it because this is where self-monitoring really becomes actionable.
Yep.
Okay, top 3 easily.
Yeah.
1, fiber. Honestly, most people just don't get enough. You need both types, insoluble to add bulk and speed things up, soluble to form a gel and soften things. Aim for around, say, 25, 30 grams a day.
Yeah.
Fruits, veggies, whole grains. Lack of fiber is a massive cause of constipation.
Okay, fiber first. What's 2?
Water. Simple, but crucial. Being dehydrated is another huge driver of constipation. Your body just pulls extra water from your stool, making it hard. Upping your plain water intake often makes a really noticeable difference.
Makes sense. And number 3?
Stress and movement. Stress, chronic or acute, can seriously mess with your gut rhythm. Constipation or diarrhea.
Yeah.
That mind-gut connection is incredibly strong.
Right.
And being sedentary, that slows down your metabolism and your bowel function. So finding ways to manage stress, whatever works for you, and building in regular movement, Hugely important for gut health.
So fiber, water, stress movement. Got it.
Yeah. And of course, other things matter too. Lots of dairy, red meat, processed foods can slow things down. And things like coffee or alcohol can dehydrate you if you're not careful with water intake alongside them.
It's also quite striking how many underlying conditions can show up in your stool, isn't it?
It really is powerful. Think about functional disorders, like IBS often presents as alternating constipation and diarrhea, or inflammatory conditions like Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. You might see persistent diarrhea, blood, mucus, celiac disease, often malabsorption signs like those pale or yellow, greasy, smelly stools.
And then liver or pancreas issues.
Right, lack of bile can cause pale stool. Problems digesting fat cause the yellow, greasy kind. And then, more rarely, serious things like colon cancer might show up as blood, or sudden unexplained changes, maybe that narrow ribbon-like stool. It really is a barometer.
Okay, it's clear there's a ton of science here, but with all this info floating around, especially online, there must be some common myths, right? Things people get wrong.
Oh, absolutely. Misinformation is definitely out there. We pulled 3 common ones from our sources.
Let's debunk them. Myth number 1.
Myth 1. You absolutely must have a bowel movement every single day.
Ah, the daily myth.
That's exactly. Reality. As we said, normal frequency is super variable. 3 times a day to 3 times a week is fine. How consistent it is for you and whether it's easy to pass. That's way more important than hitting some arbitrary daily target. Remember, constipation is technically fewer than 3 times a week. So don't stress if you're not daily, as long as your pattern feels right for you.
Good to know. Okay, myth number 2.
Myth 2. If you're constipated, your body starts absorbing toxins from the backed up waste.
Ooh, I've heard versions of that. Auto-intoxication.
Yeah, it sounds scary, but there's just no scientific basis for it. Your colon is designed to eliminate waste efficiently. There's no evidence toxins build up or get reabsorbed during normal digestion, even if things are a bit slow.
Yeah.
And actually, things like colon cleanses, which sometimes promote this idea. They can disrupt your healthy gut bacteria and potentially do more harm than good.
Right. So skip the cleanses. Myth 3.
Myth 3. For constipation, just adding more and more fiber is always the answer.
But we just said fiber's important.
It is important. Most people do need more. But it's not a magic bullet on its own.
Ah.
You absolutely need adequate hydration alongside it. Fiber, without enough water, can actually bulk things up too much and make constipation worse. Plus, you need to consider exercise, stress, and rule out any underlying medical reasons. Fiber is part of the picture, but not the whole picture.
That's a really important clarification. Okay, this brings us to a crucial point. We've learned how to monitor, how to decode. But how do you know when it's time to stop self-monitoring and actually call the doctor? When do these signals become definite red flags?
Right. That's the million-dollar question. The key difference is between a one-off weird day, which happens to everyone, and a persistent pattern of change.
Persistence. Okay.
So here are the definite red flag symptoms that mean you should seek prompt medical attention.
Point them out for me.
Okay. 1, a persistent change in your bowel habits. That could be frequency, consistency, or maybe that narrow ribbon-like shape we mentioned. If it lasts more than, say, a few days to a week without a clear reason, get it checked.
Okay.
2, any blood in your stool. Bright red, black, and terry, doesn't matter. Always warrants investigation. Full stop.
Got it.
3, persistent pale or clay-colored stool, especially if you also notice any yellowing of your skin or eyes, that jaundice.
Right, the biliary system warning.
Exactly. 4, unexplained abdominal pain or weight loss that happens alongside these changes in bowel habits.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, a few more. 5, nocturnal diarrhea, meaning diarrhea that actually wakes you up from sleep. That's often a sign of something more significant.
Interesting.
6, seeing significant amounts of mucus or pus or having those persistently foul-smelling, greasy stools we link to fat malabsorption. And finally, just a general feeling of not getting relief after having a bowel movement, if that's a new and persistent thing for you.
That's a really clear list of red flags. And if you do go to the doctor, what happens then?
Well, they'll ask a lot of detailed questions about the symptoms, your history, diet, and medications. They might order a stool analysis looking for hidden blood or fat or signs of inflammation like white blood cells.
Maybe specific tests.
Yeah, maybe a fecal immunochemical test or FIT test, which is very good at detecting tiny amounts of hidden blood, often used in colon cancer screening. And depending on your age, symptoms, and risk factors, they might recommend a colonoscopy to get a direct look inside. The main thing is, don't hesitate if you have those red flags. Early detection makes a huge difference.
It's genuinely powerful, isn't it? Just how much information our bodies are giving us every single day. Your stool really is like this non-invasive report card on your internal health, a daily message from your gut.
Absolutely. And our goal with this deep dive was really to equip you with the tools to actually read that report card,
Mm.
to interpret those signals. So you can move from just passively observing to
Right.
actively, proactively managing your health. Being self-aware isn't about panicking at every little change.
Right.
It's about having the knowledge to take informed action when needed. Understanding these daily outputs really deepens your connection to how your body is working internally.
So maybe the next time you pay a visit to the toilet, consider it a quick check-in, a moment to listen to your body's most honest messenger. What new insights will you discover about that colorful choreography going on inside?